Welcome to the Two Ton Nerds. As always, my name is Max James, and in this episode of the TTN Presents, it's episode 4 of Straight from the Brit's Mouth. And Michael, it's been a very long time since we made one of these, so we have.
It has. I mean, it's exciting though. It's so much.
I know. I've been wanting to make a podcast, and I know you've been wanting to make a podcast, and it's just like our schedules and just what's been going on in life has just kind of gotten away. So today we finally just everything lined up perfectly, and we have a lot to discuss since we haven't talked in like voice to voice in quite some time. So
It's been 4 years.
yeah, has it really? I
I'm
wouldn't.
exaggerating on the 84 years, but
I
it feels like that to
I
me.
think it has been at least one or two for sure. So I wouldn't doubt it. So me and you are big in the horror genre. We normally talk horror on this channel, so let's just jump right into what's really big in the horror world as of lately. It was the 2018 Halloween movie. What'd you think of it?
Okay, so obviously, like I do have my critical sort of thing how I go about things. So obviously, I'm gonna have my good things, and then I'm gonna say the things that I didn't like about it.
Same.
So in all, I thought the storyline was good.
Agree.
Definitely one of the better sequels that I've seen for a while.
Oh, yeah. What do you mean? You don't like Halloween Resurrection or anything like that?
I mean,
What you can't beat Buster Rhymes, you know that, or where?
I mean, I don't. We're gonna come back to Buster Rhymes.
Okay, all right. Let's just focus on the new one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the opening to the movie I thought was great. It felt a bit of nostalgia to me. The pumpkin in the credits, that was a nice little nod.
Right. Then the pumpkin kind of like go from like it was molded to like normal.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I really like that. I'm like, oh, that's a really cool intro. It's like the reverse.
I feel like what they done was they like paid attention to what like the original one sort of was. That is what I love about it. So even the pumpkin has actually got the same style and design. Because I had to be a geek and actually compare it. So I watched both openings on my TV and on my mobile device at the same time just to compare. Because I'm that much of a geek.
Oh, trust me, I've done things like that too. So I'm a big nerd and geek over here too. So, what did you think of like Lori and Jamie Lee Curtis in the movie?
I think she did really well.
Yeah.
And I felt like she developed what her character would be. Because don't forget what they've done with this one is they've sort of like cut out the original number 2 and obviously 4, 5. They've cut out like every sequel.
Right.
And they've done it for like 40 years on. And it's like she grew into this kind of like badass. So it kind of had hints of like how she was in H2O. They sort of took that concept a little bit. But she wasn't like scared, if you know what I mean. Like she was in H2O.
Yeah, I don't think she wasn't exactly running away, but she was prepared for the inevitable day that he would show up because she knew he would show up again. There was no doubt about it. So, trying to think how speaking of podcasting, how did you like did you like the two podcasters who were trying to like I like how that's how they got the ball rolling with those two characters. Like,
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty nice way of getting us reintroduced into this world, using those two characters to kind of walk us through a little bit. And so,
And I've liked that there's hints of the actual other sequels. There's a lot But I've watched many videos about sort of these little cameos and nods to the other movies.
Right.
And they even had like the famous sort of like H2O bathroom scene, for example. But in this scenario, the person wasn't so lucky. The British reporters, evidently, as well. Yeah. So it went back to like the classic sort of like I said, the horror element. It wasn't too gory, but
right.
It had the like suspense that the original had, but a bit more amped.
Like, I really liked when he finally made it to Haddon. Where was it at? Was it still taking place in Haddonfield?
Yes, but I think yes, it was there. Yes, because there was a new doctor. Oh, what was his name? Because he took over because I think Loomis because in this case, like as you know, Loomis was like the crazy sort of doctor that
right
followed him about like his nemesis. But in this case, he looked after him, as the doctor explained,
right
until he died.
Yeah, see, I've only got to see it the one time in theater, so I'm trying to like recall everything as I go. But it did stay with me because I remember like having this big old grin on my face when Michael finally got his knife, and he just kind of like how he just slowly walked into that town. Like I loved how it just felt so Halloween. I think that felt more like Halloween than any of the other sequels ever. So
yeah.
And I'm like, and he's pretty brutal. I mean, he didn't really take anything from anybody this time around. He just kept on going. And I really loved that.
Yeah, like I mean, he even kills a kid. Like,
right? See, that's what I was really surprised about.
Brave.
It's like when there's a sequence in the movie where he's being transferred to somewhere. I can't remember where, and because there's really, I think where he's currently staying, like there's just no hope for him, basically. So I think that's about right?
Yeah.
And so they're transferring him somewhere else, and then the bus crash, and these two people, like this dad and son, are like come upon him, and obviously we knew the dad was going to get killed, but being kind of shocking that they killed the kid. Spoilers, bashed his head against the window, I think, or something like that, and or something, or choked him out, or I can't remember. But it was very like, oh, that was not expecting that.
No.
So I'm trying to think what did you like about like the younger version, or like her granddaughter in the movie?
Well, I like how she was kind of like she wasn't really. She thought her mum was a bit crazy, and like I said, because in the story she's kind of distant from her family because they all think because obviously she's had some kind of trauma in her life from that night, and
yeah,
you know they're trying to move on with their lives because it's been like 40 years.
Yeah,
like it's a movie, and when stuff finally starts to go down, that's when it really becomes that sort of like classic horror film. And about survival, staying alive, and you just kind of get this adrenaline while watching it, like how a Halloween sequel should be.
I'm trying to think trying to think. I'm just trying to recall everything in the movie, like in sequence. I really loved how he. I don't know. I like you said, this one is just like a really good Halloween sequel. I mean, was you okay with them kind of retconning the from like the original 2 and on, like saying we don't deal with those anymore? This is the true Halloween sequel.
I mean, I do and I don't like. Don't get me wrong. I love this new Halloween. I love it to bits. But the thing that saddens me about it is that the fact that they cut out a lot of sequels, like she doesn't like the son from H2O is not a thing. Jamie is not a thing. Because don't get me wrong, I liked some of the sequels. Like I loved 4. I didn't mind 4 at all. 5, 6, I really loved, because that was an origin story. I kind of wish they kind of kept the fawn concept in somehow. I don't know how they would have done it, but
right.
I really loved the sort of cult idea. That's one of my favourites.
And see, I like that too. It kind of gave Michael a reason to be doing what he's doing. It's like we know, Jason. He watches mom get killed, and Freddy, he's just a child killer. So being brought back to life, from whatever the monsters were in Freddy's Dead, the final night, whatever that one was. And so, I liked that how it kind of gave him like a reason, so he's just not some like psychopath or whatever you want to call it, a serial killer. It kind of gave him a little bit of a backstory.
And it's a shame that they never sort of like followed on from the idea, because I can imagine how that would have ended in later sequels.
So, okay, what'd you think of I know they said it in the trailer, but what'd you think about them kind of taking back the whole Michael and Laurie being brother and sister?
Well, I mean, see, I'm very sort of two theories about it. One, I think that it could be hidden truth. It could because they do say in the movie that it's a rumor,
right?
But they don't actually call upon the rumor if it's true or not. So that is actually unknown, I think.
See, I kind of liked that aspect of it a little bit, like them being brother and sister. Kind of gave it a little bit more, like he gave him a little bit more of a reason. Like sometimes I like to have reasons why people are doing. Like, I mean, it's okay to have some guy running around killing people, but it's like this guy's been going on for 40 years. You got to have a little bit of a reason to why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. And like the way I look at things is, you could watch Halloween in a number of different orders now. You could follow your own storyline, and you could watch them in that storyline. So you could, for example, you could watch 1, 2, H2O Resurrection. You could have that as a story, or you could watch 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 as a story, or you can do 1 and the 2018 Halloween as a story.
Right.
So you can go many ways about it.
That's actually I've never thought of it that way. It's like this, like if you think of how messed up the storylines of this, but it's like, man, you could make your own story with the Halloween movies. Like I never thought of it like that. That's pretty cool, because I have that really nice, cool Blu-ray box set. I think that Scream Factory put out that had like.
They are a brilliant company. So their artworks of their movies they re-release. Because I've got the Life Force one actually on my wall, and the actual original Halloween 2 one.
Oh.
The artwork is just phenomenal for them.
And I got for Christmas Slither. That I love that new artwork for it. I'm like, oh, like I love Scream Factory movies. Like they put so much effort into their DVDs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like on the Halloween DVD features, they do the Horror Hound special features. So like this guy who does I can't remember his name, but
Hollow Grounds.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, my uncle's actually met him. One of the conventions that's just gone actually. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. He was when I went to Horror Hound. That's when I met Tom Savini and a bunch of the. I got a Dawn of the Dead poster signed by Tom Savini. So I'm like, oh, that is just amazing to me.
Yeah.
And so, but anyways, I'm like, that's so cool. Like there is just I love the Scream Factory stuff. So, but anyways, back to Halloween. But I never really thought about watching. I never thought about how you could basically make your own storyline out of these movies. Like, oh,
it's actually a recent thing I come up with recently, because, like I said, I'm in two ways about the whole thing, how they cut out the others from the series. And I was like, I think it's been too much that they've done that. So, because when you go to H2O, he's got no burns in his hand. It's like, what about Jamie? There's no mention of that.
Yeah.
And the way I looked at it is perhaps you can watch it as a alternate storylines. You could go for one way, how you feel like you would like what appeals most to you. And I think it's the easiest way to sort of like keep the fans non-split about the storyline, like just to like show appreciation to each of the storyline. And in that way, I feel like there's no arguments.
It's kind of like you said, choose your own adventure, or
yeah, that would be fun.
or like what's it called? Like, have you watched Bandersnatch on Netflix? Like the Black.
Actually, my girlfriend, I've watched a few Black Mirror episodes, and we were going to watch that one together because we're actually both overseas.
Oh.
And yeah, so she said, like, because it was like an interactive thing, she said it'd be better for me to watch my own, but she said it's really good because there's like so many multiple different sort of endings you can have.
Yeah, I haven't.
And I think that's one of its first kind, if I'm correct, as well, on there.
Yeah, of the first interactive movie like that. So that's kind of how, like, I never thought about the Halloween movies kind of being like that. It's like, oh, like maybe I'll. Okay. I know what I was going to ask you. Sorry. Where would you put the producer's cut in that storyline? Like, which way? Like, would you like make that an own separate storyline as well?
I mean, that is my preferred version out of the two. Because I feel like it, in my opinion, it makes more sense, and I find it a bit more brutal than theatrical. I mean, they're both gory, as they are.
Yeah.
But I think the producer's cut is the true version, so when it comes to having the storyline as in 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, I would have the producer's cut there.
Okay.
Overall.
The theatrical.
Because it links to 5 more as well, because
yeah,
it's simply the font is shown in 5.
Yeah. I may have to do that one day. Just kind of have fun.
A marathon, a live cast marathon.
Is there anything about the new Halloween you want to talk about? I know I keep asking questions, but is there like anything? What's like one of the
ending?
Okay, the ending. Okay, if you haven't seen Halloween 2018, this is
stop watching.
Yeah, go watch it, and this is major spoilers. So, okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and okay, the ending. What do you think about it?
Well, it was like we said, we know Michael is the one chasing the people.
Yeah,
he's the one you run from.
Mm-hmm.
But towards the end of the movie, she becomes very clever, and she chases him.
I know. Like,
I mean, that was a very intense bit of the movie. Like, I was like, wow.
The
whole house is like a trap.
Exactly. She's had 40 years, like we've discussed, like to like prepare herself for the inevitable return of Michael, and so.
And I don't know, like seeing him, I know he was trapped at the end, like very cleverly, might I add.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it is left open on purpose. I just feel like there's not much about it right now, but I just feel like they've done this on purpose. Like they do with H2O, you could tell that was done on purpose. But with this, I feel like they got something good planned.
Yeah, I haven't seen Jamie Lee Curtis like this excited for a sequel. You know, like she's like, I'll do totally another sequel if Joseph Gordon-Green does the sequel again. And I haven't really seen her that excited to do something like that like in a while. I'm like, oh, so she must have really had a really good experience doing this movie, or she really liked where the character went and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I think if I recall correctly, before Resurrection came out, she said she would be in it, but she wanted to die.
Yeah.
But that's an actor who wasn't really that interested.
All right. Well, okay, that leads me to kind of a good segue of like an actor. What'd you think of the betrayal of Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi?
Have you seen the interviews with Ruin Johnson, as my uncle calls him?
Oh, that's great. I never heard that one yet.
And in the thing, you can see the sadness of Mark Hamill's eyes. The way that Ryan Johnson goes, George Lucas didn't know what he was doing with Star Wars, and I'm like, excuse me.
Oh, did he really say that?
Yes, he did.
Oh my God! I haven't catch that. I haven't seen that interview, but I've seen the sad, like Mark Hamill being sad, but I didn't realize that was that came from that interview. I'm like, oh my.
It is nail biting. It is really nail biting.
Oh my gosh, that is funny. Like,
I just felt like it was a whole jumble of mess. Yes, okay, there was bits I liked, okay?
Yeah.
But I felt like they totally changed Luke Skywalker. Like, I don't know what they done with him, and I feel like they've ignored the script continuation from The Force. Like, The Force Awakens, I loved that.
Oh, I did too.
Great movie.
How did you like? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry, but I felt like so many things were just thrown aside. Like Snoke, I was excited to see him, like essentially the new Palpatine, and it's just
he ends up getting killed, like so easily.
Screen time.
Yeah. Like, I think the Porgs had more screen time than Snoke had.
Oh. I want Jar Jar Binks back, okay? I don't care what people say about the prequels, okay? At least they were decent, okay? Okay, Attack of the Clones, man. But
see, I was getting ready to ask you, like, that's what did you think? I don't think we talked about Star Wars in that aspect. Like, did you like the prequels?
Yeah, because I find, in my opinion, Star Wars is a long story. It's a saga, don't forget. So
right.
So I like them, like, because I actually saw The Phantom Menace first. That was the first one I saw.
Oh, okay.
And then I ended up watching A New Hope, and I liked them just as much as The Phantom Menace, and then Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And, I like the prequels, and I like the original trilogy. I like them both equally. I have no problem with the prequels. And, okay, Hayden in Attack of the Clones, okay, he could have been a bit more lively. But
I agree
think
with
in
that.
Revenge of the Sith, he did redeem himself.
See, I think Hayden, whatever his name is, Christensen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's actually a pretty decent actor because I've seen him in movies where he's like, oh, he's actually really good. Like I can't think of the movie, like Shattered Glass or something like where he's playing.
Is that like that horror movie where he's in an operating theatre and he's like consciously awake or something? If that's the one I'm thinking of.
No, the one I was thinking of, like, he plays this guy who's plagiarizing articles and stuff like that, so it's like very actor driven, and I'm like,
oh, okay.
So I really liked him in that, and I thought he played that role pretty well, and I thought he's good in Jumper. I thought, right?
Yes.
See,
I think, isn't Samuel L. Jackson in that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. I thought so.
Yeah, he technically plays the villain of the movie in a way, so. But yeah, I totally agree. I think he could have been a little bit more lively, but that's just that's George Lucas's call on that. So
yeah, don't like sand. It's coarse.
Yeah. But after watching like New Hope, Luke was kind of a whiny teen in that first one as well. So you kind of had like So I mean he like that line, like George Lucas doesn't know what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Like, you just have to just take it, like, you gotta trust him. It's like, Luke was whiny, so was Anakin, and because they both grew up on a desert planet, of course they're gonna be, like, there's nothing going on.
Excellent pilots as well.
Right. So, of course, there was little bitty things he's changed here and there, but, like, for the most part...
It is to fit.
Yeah. See, like, I always thought about some of the stuff that was, changed. Maybe it was kind of leaning towards, like, it was, like, stories told and retold, so, like things kind of get changed here and there, like depending on the person changing, like, so it was like Oh, okay. Like, it didn't really bother me. Like, I like the prequels as well. I think I got to see when they re-released New Hope in theaters, like back in '97. You know, when they did all that.
Nice.
So I got to see that on the big screen, and I didn't get a chance to see the others, but I think my favorite moment is going to see like Phantom Menace, not Phantom Menace, but Revenge of the Sith, because like that was like the only movie that I pre-bought tickets for.
I think that was the anticipated one,
Right?
Because that would be the one where I call, that one, like, a lot of things happen in that one, like the fall of the Jedi, the rise of the Galactic Empire. And when I saw Moff Tarkin at the end of it, when he's on his Star Destroyer, that was just such a... Because that was the guy who played Scorpius in Farscape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, because he looks like Grand Moff Tarkin with all the makeup done up on him.
Okay, back to your thoughts on Jedi, The Last Jedi. So, we were you didn't like how they like we said, like we both kind of agreed, like they kind of didn't, they kind of ignored the Force Awakens a little here and there.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much filler that I felt like just made the movie drag.
Yeah. See, I think overall, I thought The Last Jedi was a pretty decent movie, but I think the whole bait sequence was like the heist or whatever, like them trying to steal the code breaker or whatever his name, or
yeah, I think that's a lot of what gets talked about.
Yeah. I mean, if there was like a payoff for that, then I would totally been like, okay, that is totally worth them sneaking off and coming back. But I don't think it really added anything. But just
it's like they just did it for a bit of fun,
right? Exactly. I think they needed like a break in the main story for like a minute or two. So
there is a pro I did like about The Last Jedi. I got to see Luke's green lightsaber again.
Oh, yeah.
That to me, that was like, oh my god, my childhood.
Oh man, but I mean, I liked for the most part Luke being a recluse and kind of like what's it called? Kind of blaming himself for what had happened to what his name is. I'm drawing a blank.
Well, Han.
Yeah, Han's kid. What? God,
Ben Solo. That's it.
Yeah, that's who I'm trying to. Him, and I'm like, okay, I understand. I like that, and he's being recluse and stuff like that. But him kind of being a little bit on the crazy side. I mean, I know it's kind of shades of Yoda from Empire, but like I kind of wished he was a little bit more down to earth. You know, him not just like pole vaulting around and drinking green milk or whatever from these beach mammoths or whatever they are. That was kind of awkward. I will admit that, like, if there was one scene in all of Star Wars that didn't feel like Star Wars, that would have been it right there.
Even sand is less awkward than that.
Right. It's like, oh my god. I'm like, okay. I mean, I get the porgs and stuff like that, but it's just like him like milking like a sea cow. It's like, all right, that's a bit much. And just like straight up like eyeing Ray in the face while he's doing it. Like, that's not Anakin. I mean, that's not Luke whatsoever. So, would you like?
And another thing that did like tickle me and annoy me a little bit was the return of Captain Phasma.
Right.
Just to go out ridiculously again.
Oh, see.
I mean,
go ahead.
I mean, I just felt like, so they brought her back.
Right.
And then they just wasted her again. Like, she's supposed to be some elite stormtrooper.
Right, like the best, basically.
Like, that can't be cheap, that chrome armor plating. I mean,
right?
Like, stormtroopers normally they just get shot and die, or they hit their heads on doors.
Right. Oh man.
I mean, I just wish there was a bit more of her.
I totally agree. I think that if there was one character that was truly wasted, I think Captain Phasma was right up there. At least top 3 for sure.
Yes.
Because like you said, they were building her up to be this elite stormtrooper, and she literally towers over almost all of them because she like
she's a tall woman.
Yeah, like she's playing like Gwendolyn Christie or something like that. Like we'll get into her in a little bit, but like her character is like literally towering over everybody, and she has this really cool like you said chromed stormtrooper armor, and it's like they're really making her to be something, and then she just phases out like Boba Fett.
It's so shame that these villains don't get enough. Like the coolest looking villains in Star Wars,
right?
I mean, Maul gets chopped in half, and then he somehow comes back in Rebels.
And
I mean,
and in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Oh no, Solo. Sorry.
That I'll get into because that's one I haven't seen yet, but that's actually my list ready to watch.
See, I really liked Solo. I know a lot of people didn't, but I thought it was good. I had a lot of fun. Like the guy who was playing Han, I thought he did really well. I think
because a lot of people moaned about, he doesn't look like Han Solo. I was like, that's not the point. It's about how you portray the character. It's about the personality you bring on.
Right. I mean, there's
to like have this character.
I mean, there's tons of movies out there where when they do the whole flashback sequence where the younger version looks nothing like the older version, but they still feel the same. So I had a lot of fun, and I thought Woody Harrelson and Emilia Clarke, we'll get into her in a little bit as well. And,
yeah, that's going to be connected.
Yeah, we're segueing here and there.
Yeah.
I think
we should just pop a picture of a Segway going across the screen.
Right, Segway. Like just a picture of the actual Segway. It's just like I think she did really well. I think I just had a lot of fun watching Solo, and I'm like seeing the Millennium Falcon on the big on the screen again. I didn't get to see it in theaters. I kind of regret not being able to. But I'm like that's why I spent $30 on the Steelbook. So I'm like, all right, like it's Star Wars, and like
I do like a good Steelbook, depending on what it is.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Like, did you see? I don't know if you seen my my 31 Days of Fright this past year, where I highlighted like the Universal monsters, and I have like all the Steelbooks for each one of those, and like, and they are literally my favorite ones. If I could really display these, those would be if I could display any of my Steelbooks, those would be it. So, did you like Rogue One?
Yes, I prefer Rogue One over The Last Jedi.
I do too.
Yeah. Do you know what bit gave me the chills? Okay, spoilers. If you haven't seen it, just don't listen to this bit. Cover your ears.
Yeah.
Go make a sandwich or something.
Yeah.
Seeing Darth Vader right at the end gave me the chills of going into New Hope.
Oh, I know.
Because I immediately watched New Hope after I saw that scene, and he is brutal in that scene.
Right, like we actually get to see Darth Vader be Darth Vader. You know, like we haven't seen him like that in a while. Like with all that gear on, if it wasn't animated or in books or anything like that, we actually like on the big screen we get to see Vader just force choke and just be a true
Lord of the Sith.
Yeah, right. Just he lived up to his name in that movie. So,
The Blind Jedi has got to be one of my favorites.
See, I really liked him too. I loved how, like, I know this movie wasn't really truly heavily like all like lightsabers and all that stuff, but
But that didn't matter to me.
Right, same. I really loved how the Force is still in the movie. It's like the guy believes in the Force and he's one with the Force. The Force is in me. And see, I love that sequence at the end where he's like trusting the Force to get him across that battlefield to turn off the.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's so cool.
That's such a classic regal Jedi thing.
Yeah.
He's so committed to his Force that surrounds him. That is a proper Jedi, in my opinion.
Agreed. So, okay, back to Last Jedi real quick. Did you like Luke Skywalker dying?
No.
Okay. Well, like,
I shed a tear. Okay, I'll admit I shed a tear.
Okay. Okay, let me ask you this. Okay. Would his death been okay if it was under a different circumstance? Like maybe he went out battling in an epic way, like kind of like more like Obi-Wan, or
Yeah, I would have liked that more.
Yeah, I thought that would have been a bit more. And then yeah, I totally agree. I think that he should have, if he was going to like have like the personality of Yoda when he's been locked away or by himself for so long, at least kind of go out the way he saw Obi-Wan, you know, like kind of. Did you speaking of like Ruin Johnson, did you like watch any of his videos where he or his explanations on why he did all the things he did?
Doesn't do it justice.
Yeah. I know.
I do not like him.
I understand he can like back it all up with actual like stuff from Star Wars, but it's just like this just sometimes it just doesn't need to be that kind of stuff doesn't need to be in those movies. Like we know what Luke Skywalker is, and this kind of wasn't him. So okay, I'm trying to think what else was in that movie that was kind of. We talked about Snoke and his lack of screen time. I really like the opening sequence with the bombers and stuff on taking on the whatever the big destroyer was called, a dreadnought. Yeah, I really liked all that sequence. I thought that was like, and Poe, like we got to take this out, and like, but okay, that leads me. What'd you think of Leia's spacewalk?
In my opinion, and some people may disagree with me, what I'm going to say, it would have been better if. I think it was too over the top, in my opinion. It would have been, and I'm sorry if people hear this, but it would have been better if that was like her last scene when she was out in space, because I felt like it was too over the top, in my opinion.
Honestly, it kind of felt kind of awkward knowing that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it was just bad timing on like the movie and like the passing of Carrie Fisher, but like that sequence was kind of like, did they just really kill her off? And then like if to me, if it just felt kind of awkward overall. I mean, like
it was like an insult in a way, in my opinion.
I didn't really see it that way. I think it was just like, just knowing that she had passed and this movie is just so fresh. It was just kind of like, oh, it just kind of felt kind of awkward a little bit, in my opinion. I mean, hopefully they like give her a really proper send out in the next one. So I'm trying to think what else happened in The Last Jedi. We talked about the porgs. I did like Chewie, kind of like he cooked one and then the rest of them were looking in horror. I like that. Was that was hilarious. Like,
that's how you do a movie.
Yeah, like, and then he gets all guilt tripped into not eating it, and I'm like, eat it, just
eat it. That's exactly what I thought.
It's like, you are a Wookiee, just eat the thing. Like
because when I watched this, I actually saw the premiere of this, and I kind of looked at my uncle and went, he should just eat them.
That's great. I actually have I actually have a Porg, stuffed Porg, for my car, but I really wanted to put it up there, but my windows aren't exactly perfect for it. So I'm like, I finally got my own room down in the basement because I ended up moving out. I have my own house now.
Yeah, I've actually moved myself, funny enough.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know what? We really haven't talked to one another in a while.
Yeah.
So, I have this really cool stuffed Porg, and it looks like, the sequence where the Porg kind of gets stuck to the window. And so, like, it kind of looks like the dome of the Millennium Falcon, and it's kind of stuck on the window. I'm like, it's one of those like Garfield things, so it's like just hanging there off like suction cups and everything. And I'm like, I just can't bring myself to hang it up because I like it too much, and I don't want my car busted into. Because it also comes with one of those like those baby on board signs, and but it says Porg on board. And I'm like, I like my car windows where they are. I might do it one day, like when the next movie comes out. I'll probably just break it out and just drive around with it one day. support the Star Wars in my own little way. Okay. Now we've kind of been hinting at a couple actors. And we talked about Emilia Clarke and Gwendolyn Christie. You just now started watching Game of Thrones, right?
I have indeed.
Yeah. What are you thinking of it so far? What season are you on?
I'm actually on episode 7 of series 5.
Oh, so you're
3 days ago I was on series 3.
So you're rocking through these pretty fast then.
I've got to be honest, it's one of those shows I've not been addicted to in quite a long time.
Right? I haven't found one in a while. I think I watched Mindhunter last year on Netflix, and me and my girlfriend we just watched all that like super quick. I'm like, oh, there was only one season, but it's like, but Game of Thrones is the one that I've been watching since the beginning, or at least second season or so. But it was just like, oh man, I cannot wait for this final season. I probably should be watching it all again to stay caught, like so I can catch back up. Because there's a lot of information. There's a lot of information going on in these shows, these hour episodes. So, what had just happened on the last episode you just watched? So I can kind of avoid spoilers for you.
Well, so I'm just going to give a little recap of what's been going on. So Jaime Lannister has arrived in Dawn because he's gone to look for... worried about people listening, but he's gone to look for a girl.
Okay. I
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And so they've sort of been captured by the people. And I believe Tyrion and Jorah, if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, was on the way to take Tyrion to Daenerys.
Okay.
So those dragons have been growing up as well.
Oh yeah,
I love those dragons. The wall was attacked by the wildlings.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but how do you like these big epic episodes like that, like the big wall episode?
One of my favorites because their battle scenes to me are so well done. There's so much in them, I find.
Okay, when you get caught up, we'll have to do this again, and we'll talk about it because there is 2 more episodes. Or 2 more big epic episodes in season 6 and 7. Or no, you're on 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 and how many is there? 8 altogether. There'll be 8 altogether, right?
I think there's 10 for the first 6 seasons, and then I did see season 7 had 7 episodes.
I meant number of seasons.
I think there's 7.
Okay.
7.
So 6th and 7th episodes are gonna be like we'll have to get back and talk to you about those when you get caught up because I'm if you think like the wall episode was big, just wait until there's a even bigger, in my opinion, like episode coming up that I can't wait to talk about.
Oh.
Yeah. So, okay, so you're on that season. So, you like who's your favorite character so far? And are they still alive?
Oh my god! Right, I'm going to start with Tyrion because the episode I really loved when he's in the small council chamber room and he's dragging that chair for like 2 minutes just to sit down while Tywin is just staring at him with such hate.
Right.
And I was so glad about Joffrey going. I was so glad. I could not stand him.
I think that also shows you how good of an actor that kid is. Like to really have someone like universally hated as he is, like that just shows you he is good at his job. You know, like
we know how the Hound thinks of the king.
Yeah. Right. Oh man, I like.
Also another favorite.
Same. How do you like his brother, the Mountain?
I mean, I watched him. Obviously, I've got past the episode back in series 4, where the Red Viper, where he faces the Mountain, and
Oberyn. When
he's talked to him, if he just walked away, the way he just pulls him down and pops him like a melon.
You're right.
Wow.
I was so shocked about that because I don't read the book, so like all this is fresh. This is like new. So when I was like, I know people who read the books, like, oh, I know what's going to happen. Like, honestly, that kind of takes the fun away out of it just a little bit. Like, oh man, like I want to be totally surprised, and like when he like pulls him to the ground, like I said, bust him like a melon, and like.
And then Tyrion's face is just like
he's like crap. Like I'm dead. Like he had him too. That's it. He had him.
But he had to carry on.
Yeah,
I can understand why he done it because of what happened to his sister.
Yeah, I understand that. I agree. Like he was trying to get revenge for what the Mountain did to his sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like. He wanted to have a little bit of fun on his end, but it backfired.
I mean, quite a bit.
Yeah.
Sean Bean, as always, I thought, when I watched Series 1, I was just like, I wonder how long Sean Bean's going to be, because he always does good, like, fantasy roles, and always like who he portrays in these kind of things, and...
Like Boromir in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah, or even the double agent in James Bond. I thought he was pretty good in that one.
Yes.
So he's really good at playing good and bad guys, and somewhere in between. So it's just depending on what you think of Boromir. I think he was just kind of edging on the line of both. And so
yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't because I get all the seasons kind of jumbled up because there are just so much going on. But
one of my saddest episodes is probably from series 3, the wedding massacre.
Oh, the Red Wedding.
Yeah. Because I've actually got the song "The Reigns of Castamere" because that's played at that as well because it's one of my favourite tracks from the series, and. That moment when Catelyn, I think that's the mother, she's called Catelyn or something.
Yeah, Catelyn Stark. Yeah.
And when she's looking at her son, and the last thing Rob says is mother, and then he gets stabbed, and she watches that in front of them before her own life is taken. And the fact that Arya Stark was right outside, she never got to see her mother again, or her brother.
Yeah.
That, to me, was probably one of the saddest moments. And you see Rob getting carried out with a wolf's head on his body instead.
Oh,
is quite gruesome.
Yeah,
no child should see that.
Yeah, this is a show that pulls no punches. That's for sure. Like in terms of what it's shown and what some of the stuff.
Get used to seeing them while you can.
Right. It's like, what? Yeah, exactly. Oh man. So what's going on with Arya in on this season?
She has reached the man of no faces, Jacoby.
Okay.
Is that how? Yeah. So she's gone to the Tower of Black and White, and she's sort of learning how to become a no face man.
Okay. That's why I thought that's where he was at. I like her stuff. I really like Arya stuff so much.
She's a little badass. I do like her.
Right. She's gonna have some cool moments in the coming seasons. What you're about to see, and it just solidifies how much cooler she is. Like, and even Sansa or Sansa or how to pronounce her name. She even has some really cool moments. Like she's starting to like learn how to play the Game of Thrones in the later seasons.
Yeah, because at the moment she's actually at Winterfell, but of course it's been taken over by the Boltons.
Oh God!
And poor Ferry Greyjoy, or Reek as he's now called. He's a broken man. Because when I was watching this with my girlfriend, she says, "Get used to Ferry, how you see him now, because." He's a broken man. He will never be the same.
Is she all caught up?
Yeah, she's watched it. She's been watching some with me because she likes to watch it with me. And,
I'm trying to get Ariel to watch him with me, and she hadn't quite pulled the trigger on it yet. I did get her to watch the first Star Wars though, I mean Episode 4. I had this big long debate with her. It's like, can I watch the first Star Wars? I'm like, you mean the Phantom Menace? And she's like, well, when did we watch? We watched Episode 4. You know, I went into mega geek mode. So, and trying to, like, just me being ridiculous for the sake of being ridiculous or difficult. And I'm just like, I know what you meant.
So, I actually got my girlfriend to watch Prison Break with me.
Oh.
Because
I haven't watched that one yet.
Fan. It's good.
Oh, I know what else I know there's really no good segue into this, but Resident Evil 2.
Yes.
I know. I think that's a good way to talk about this. Well, we have no good way of segueing into it. Well,
it's gory.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, have you played it yet? Because I haven't been able to play it yet.
Right. This is the thing that saddens me. While I'm moving in, I'm still getting bits of my place. I have still yet to purchase a PS4. Because there's games like Dark Souls 3, I want to get Resident Evil 7 for myself, and etc.
I'm currently playing that one.
So I have seen the gameplay for this game, and I really want to play this game because what they've done with the mechanics. So they've been using they used the RE engine like they did in 7, so they've got real actors' faces.
Yeah.
I like what they've done with Leon. He actually looks like a rookie cop.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see like the characters like Marvin, the police officer that you find, and he's been bitten, and seeing the police station again, all done up really nice, gives you such a because that was I think the first one I played back on the PlayStation 1, and seeing it like that is really heartwarming to me. Like I'm like, wow, like they've finally done it.
I totally get that. It's kind of like I don't know if you played. Did you ever play Metal Gear Solid 4?
That is the only one I have not played.
Okay. Well, there's a sequence in the game where they go to Shadow Moses, and then it reverts back to the original PS1 graphics, and I'm like, oh, this just like brings back memories so much. Like in 30 seconds, like all you gotta do is just get a little past, like you play like a couple minutes of their first level of the first game, on the PS1 that is, and then it just reverts back to the normal PS4 or PS3 graphics. I'm like, oh man, that was like pure nostalgia and like just thrown right at you. And like, oh, so I get the whole like seeing the what's it called, like updated stuff, and like, oh.
And there's a few things that have been added to this one that people they have for. I don't know if you know about the early concepts for the Resident Evil 2 game. There's a character called Elsa Walker.
No.
And there's like a blonde-haired chick in a biker suit that was going to be the original sort of cyber protagonist, but you can actually get this costume now for it. And some of the costumes look very conspicuous of other characters. There's a Leon costume called Arkley Sheriff. And if you look at the costume, it looks a lot like Rick Grimes' outfit.
Oh.
Hence why it's called. Yeah. And you get like an army Claire, which looks like Sarah Connor.
Okay.
The outfit-wise. And then you get Noir Leon, which kind of looks like Sebastian from The Evil Within, his costume. So, well, funny enough, it was made by one of the creators of Resident Evil. I'm pretty sure about that.
Okay.
And then
that makes
sense. Gore factor in this one is just, wow.
See, I've kind of stayed away, but at the same time, I've watched a few people play it, and I'm like, this is pretty gory and looks scary, and I'm like, this is my type of game. I gotta play it.
Yeah, it's because 7, okay, I liked Resident Evil 7, but it misses out marks for me. It just misses out in certain areas. But this one, like, you can shoot off limbs, like, you can board up windows to survive. It's giving them that proper survival element.
Right.
It's like you got darkened areas, you got to use a torch if you need to, and
it's survival horror done perfect.
Yes.
I get it.
I'm very sad that I can't play
it. Is it out on the 360? Do you have a Xbox One yet, or?
No, I have a 360, but I've decided to go with the PlayStation 4 purely because it has a lot more JRPG.
Okay.
And I want to play a Nier Automata.
Okay.
A Square Enix game. Yeah, I've been wanting to play that for a while.
Well, that's what system I'm on, and so hopefully you get one, and then we can definitely play games together, like online together.
That would be fun.
So, that's all I've been doing, or even we can just party chat. That right there would just be. We could totally play our own games.
If you play Dark Souls, like if you get Dark Souls 3, I will definitely play that game with you.
Sweet.
I love Dark Souls.
I'm trying to think. I know I don't. I can't remember which one I got for free. I think I got Bloodborne for free.
Oh, that. Yeah, like Dark Souls, it's a unfair game. It's not forgiving.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it, and I'm like, it's just epic ponage on my end. It's like, nope, you're just getting destroyed left and right. And
it tells you you've died every time.
Yeah.
It's like From Software gets its last laugh. It really does. Unfortunately, gravity is my worst enemy in those games. Doing a roll from an enemy and gone dead.
Oh man, have you watched any like gameplay for like Red Dead and stuff like that, or?
Oh, I love the first one. I have not yet, but I know. I've seen stuff with like people can do with the snow, like you can make pictures out of the snow because it's so intricate.
Yeah. It's really detailed what you can do on that game. So,
that is in my buy list. When I get round to it, that is in the list.
I'm trying to think what other parts of Resident Evil 2. I just like just the overall look of it. I think that's what's really attracted me to it. It's not really. It's kind of looks like Resident Evil 4 a little bit.
Yeah.
But it also has like that dark feeling of 7, so it just kind of just like, oh, that just looks perfect. And
that's so me. I thought it would have been fixed camera angles like they originally did for the remastered, the original Resident Evil back in 2002, and then when they re-put it on the consoles.
Yeah.
But I'm quite happy that I don't mind the over-the-shoulder view because it does feel like Resident Evil 4, and I like Resident Evil 4. That is one of my favourites, funny enough, because it's still quite horror aspect.
Right, man.
But there's actually a petition going from Capcom. They said they will do a Resident Evil 3 remaster if fans want it. But the way things are going, I've seen the comments. People want a Resident Evil 3 remaster. They want to see that remastered.
Well, I was scrolling through YouTube, like right before we started doing this, and I said one of the thumbnails. It said it's been leaked that Nemesis is in development.
Oh.
So, oh man, I think next time when I get paid next time, big time, like after this round of bills, I'll probably be like, "Up, it's time to buy Resident Evil." So I may play that on live stream by myself, just to have some fun, because you gotta have a little bit of everything on this channel. So that's why I like doing these podcasts with you, just to sit down and talk with somebody.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to talk about? I know I've kind of. Is there anything you just want to just state?
There's a couple of just in some stuff of a couple of Marvel and DC things.
Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot about we were going to talk about that. So I'll let you take the lead on this one.
Awesome. So let's get the DC out of the way.
Okay.
Have you seen the new Suicide Squad teaser trailer?
Oh, with Harley.
Well, I think it's called Birds of Prey, actually. If I remember, I might be. Yeah. Okay, it's Birds of Prey, and it's got Harley in it.
Yeah, I seen it.
What do you think of it? Do you like the new look, or?
I know it's kind of teaser-ish. I don't really like her confetti things. So I'm still. Hopefully that's not quite. Maybe that's just like for one sequence in the movie, but I'd be okay with that. But as like if part of the official costume, like it's all right. But I kind of like. Is she wearing suspenders in it?
I mean, that don't bother me, but.
Well, I mean, I'm sure Margot Robbie would just own it. So like, it's gonna be good anyways. Like I think she did a really good job in the actual Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
So.
And are you excited for the new Avengers movie?
I don't think excited is a good enough word or strong enough word for what I'm. For that. Oh man, like we have a few people where I work at. We have been constantly like thinking of like theories and stuff like that ever since the trailer dropped for like Far From Home, the new Spider-Man movie, and Endgame, and even before Endgame trailer, like me and him and a few others were like, oh, we were just trying to think of like the little subtitle for the movie, like what's it going to be called, and like as soon as it came out, it's called Endgame, and me and everybody's like, we should have seen it coming, like. They said it in Infinity War with they had us. Like how dare they throw the titles of the movies in the actual movie. So. And
seeing Paul Rudd appear did light in my heart a little.
Right.
Seeing the Ant-Man.
Did you like Ant-Man and Wasp?
I did.
I did too.
I did.
I thought.
Did you ever see the funny promotional poster where it said Ant-Man and the Wasp, and there was like tiny dots on his white background?
Yeah, I think that's hilarious. And I liked how they superimposed him into a lot of the other posters. I think they did. Like that is just hilarious. I like they did really well with the Ant-Man movies. I like it. Those movies could have easily just tanked, but I think Paul Rudd really did a good job at playing Scott Lang.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm trying. Oh, about Shazam.
Ooh. Yeah, I did actually discuss a little about this to my uncle. I think he's not as informative on the DC universe as I am.
Okay.
So, because he doesn't like anything like Injustice, the video game, or he's not really into Justice League, but I don't know, like, I'm going to keep an open mind for that one. I mean, I kind of hope they keep it to, like, a new 52 look of him.
Okay.
That's what I'm hoping for. Because with that, I'll be fine, and the actor doesn't look too bad for him.
See,
so
I like Zachary Levi, or Levy, or how you pronounce his name, because I really love the TV show Chuck.
Oh.
Like
Yeah.
I'm currently working my way back through it. Like I've watched it from start to finish a while back, but now I'm slowly kind of just watching episodes, like one episode a day, just to kind of just have some fun watching it again. Oh man, see that's kind of why I have high hopes for it, because I'm a huge fan of him, and so. But I think my biggest worry about that movie is I hope when he's in his form of Shazam that he's not too childlike. I hope he kind of has some serious moments in the movie where he's like kind of grows up a little.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like too kiddish.
Yeah, I totally agree, because I think, like I said, DC should be the more like dark and gritty and adult side of things, in my opinion.
Oh, speaking of dark side, do you want to see the Snyder cut of Justice League?
I would be interested by that.
Me too. I kind of want to see
Darkseid. I've only seen Darkseid in like comics, cartoons, and even games. I've never actually seen him like brought to the screen.
Right. Like I would like to see what he would done with the Justice League movie. So, or like how he would edit it and stuff like that. Because, do you like Zack Snyder movies?
To a degree. It depends what it is.
Alright. Well, what's the bottom line for you?
I mean, I don't know. I just think it's him as a person. Like I don't like Ryan Johnson. They're just and M. Night Shyamalan. They're just people I don't like, and I don't know why.
Gotcha.
Because it's like they're like the terrible three for me.
Okay. I mean,
the Trinity of Evil.
Did you like? Okay, I'm thinking of some of his movies. Did you like Sucker Punch?
I did like that. No.
Yeah, I got to go see that in IMAX, and I think that was really the only true way to have really good experience with that movie, is to see that.
It's right up my street, that kind of thing. It felt very anime to me.
Oh, you are so lucky. I would love to have an IMAX movie so close. Did you go see Aquaman? I forgot.
Oh, no, but that is also in my list, actually, on my little app I use. That is my thing, but my uncle said, he said his favourite movie from DC was Wonder Woman. He says it's not anymore, it's Aquaman.
Oh.
So I have high hopes for that, yeah. Because he doesn't like many DC movies, but he loved Wonder Woman. Okay. But now he's saying he likes Aquaman.
Oh, man.
After he went in, before watching it, he was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this one, but my uncle to say something good like that is very odd. So, I will investigate.
Oh, let's see, we had a perfect segue. We had Khal Drogo and Aquaman, and so like we're good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what other DC stuff. I think they're going to do a Green Lantern movie. I'm actually looking forward to that one the most. Like when it finally.
Yeah, we can finally put the other one behind us.
Right. I think that's what a lot of us are like wanting, so we can just kind of move on and like, all right, this is the Green Lantern movie that we should have had all along.
Yes.
And I kind of wish they would do another Green Hornet movie, like redo it.
Yeah, like I did like that. It was quite a nice, enjoyable movie for me.
Yeah.
Had its funny moments, had its seriousness, right amount of stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I had fun. I had fun watching it. Like Seth Rogen.
Was it Seth Rogen in that?
Yeah.
He was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I may have to watch
Seth Rogen of all people.
Right, a superhero. I may have to watch that after we get done here, or put it on the back.
I probably will, actually. I have it myself.
Yeah, me too. I have actually, like one of those clear Blu-ray cases, like because it was 3D. I'm like, oh, like.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so like, it kind of.
Because they used to come in green, didn't they, on the normal Blu-ray, if I remember?
Some of them.
They're actually in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a few green ones. I think one of my favorite ones is a red one. It has like, did you ever see Birdman?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that's a red DVD case. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And plus the Scream Factory ones from Halloween, they're all black. I'm like, oh, that's even cooler.
I think some people have actually they've replaced them with like orange cases.
Oh.
Yeah, some people have done that. They've ordered like orange cases and done that.
Oh, I might have to do that myself now. I didn't know orange Blu-ray cases existed. Oh, Michael, I think you just opened up a thing. Oh, I know one thing that we can talk about real quick. Have you watched Stranger Things?
I have started watching it.
Okay, and I think that show hits particularly hard here because that show takes place in Indiana, and like I'm from Indiana, so I'm like, oh, that is just like it. Just
have you ever seen any Stranger Things?
Well, stuff I can't really say here on podcasts. So I've seen some strange things that could probably live up to the title of the show pretty easily. Oh man. Is there anything else? I'm gonna let you just like take the lead again.
Okay. Have you seen about the Jay and Silent Bob reboot?
Oh,
but not as in a reboot, but it's actually a sequel, but it's to do with reboots and remakes.
Oh,
the whole premise of the movie.
Yes, I am. Honestly, that may be my most anticipated movie for the year if it does come.
Do you know how long I've wanted to see them two idiots again?
I know. Like I have a friend at work, and we're both so excited for the next one. It's like. And I've been watching his Instagram and all this stuff, and like I was like so worried when he had his heart attack last year. I'm like,
yeah, Kevin Smith, yeah, but he got so much support, which I felt was so great. Right. How he's loved and supported.
And then I've seen a few people that were like just downright mean afterwards, and I'm like, how could you be like that? It's like, and he lost. I can't believe how good he looks.
Yeah, I mean,
after all that weight he lost. I'm like, wow.
Because if you look at him in the original Clerks, he's really skinny, and then obviously he's quite big.
Yeah.
And the rest, but yeah, he looks really skinny now again.
I think he like looks better than he ever has, to be honest with you. So it's like
positive mind and support.
Exactly. Like he has his wife and kid and Jason and everyone, his fans, and they're just like, it's like, whoa, just that's a support system and a half right there.
If there's a director I could meet, it would be him.
Same. I agree. Like we talked about it on here where I got to go to his live showings of his couple of his movies. So like I got pretty close, but not in person, like true up front. So I would be happy if that's all I got. Just I was 10 rows away from him. So I'm trying to think what else. I mean, I know we haven't done this in so long, so I'm scrambling for, or even like, there's just so much to talk about.
This could be one of our longest ones as well. So
yeah,
it's a way to come back,
right? It's just we're just gonna go all out. Trying to think what else in the horror world. Have you watched any other horror movies besides Halloween?
I did watch a good one on Netflix. It was called Hush.
Hush? Is that about the deaf girl, or deaf woman, right?
Yeah, the reason why I liked it, because to me, I haven't seen a movie like that before. Because, you know, when there's stalkery, like, sort of like horror movies like that, they always know where to run. They've always got that ahead of them.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's completely disadvantaged. Like she has to sort of like survive without being able to know where to go, what to hear, and that seems like a really scary situation. And for me, that really works as a modern horror film.
Right,
that's a modern horror film I do really enjoy.
I totally agree with that. I liked how some of the stuff, like how she has like those super bright flashing lights in the show, like
and
I'm like, that was a nice touch, and like, oh man.
One of the saddest moments of me in that is like she didn't even know about her friend that died, and then he's like tapping her like hand on the window, and she didn't know she was dead up to a point. And I was like, that's so horrible.
I agree. I started watching that movie when I think my stepdad was watching it, and I just happened to like come over and I just like got really in tune with it. Like, oh, I actually like this a lot.
The concept of it just works. I haven't seen anything like that before.
Same, like I know me and you have seen horror movies where they kind some of them just run together in terms of like concept and everything, but like when there's like a handful that here lately have really stuck, like what's it called, stuck out or whatever. It's like I think Hush is definitely one of them. I really like that. Did you? I think I watched all month long last month. Did you watch that Terrifier?
No, I think that's on my list as well. Actually,
that one's a lot of fun. Like if you want a movie with like good practical effects, that's a good one.
I do like my practical.
I'm trying to think of some other ones I watched during that month that I like really stuck out. I think I watched this one called the Night Watch. It's about vampires.
Yeah,
that one was good. I thought that was a lot of fun. And like on Twitter, I usually like, of course, it gets like when I upload a video on YouTube, it automatically gets uploaded to Twitter as well, or at least the status wise. And then, or at least now now it used to. I think they took that feature away, but like I got a few retweets from all the people who was in the movie. I'm like, that just
wow.
Yeah, I only got only get like 10 views on a video, but like that just makes it all worthwhile, to be honest with you. Just stuff like that it's just
I mean, the coolest thing I've ever gotten from like something famous is the main singer, the main female vocalist from Cradle of Filth actually liked one of my posts on my Instagram, because I went to the page and it said singer, song, performer for Cradle of Filth. I was like, oh my god.
I know.
I love my Cradle of Filth.
I don't know. I got one from Kevin Smith, and that was just like, oh, like
you kind of sound like Kevin Smith to me. I always think I'm talking to Kevin Smith sometimes. If that makes you smile, I don't know what will.
Oh, it does. I know you can't see me right now, but I'm smiling pretty big right now.
That cheesy grin, I can imagine.
Yeah, it is. Like, I know you've seen it in my videos, and that's exactly what's going on. It's just like big cheesy grin going on. What was the worst movie you watched last year? I know.
Oh, I'm sorry, but it is probably Last Jedi. It is going to probably be Last Jedi.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Star Wars community, but I'm right.
I don't know. I watched a lot of movies last year, and I'm trying to think. I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that one. Maybe next time. I'll have to go back to my list, because I keep a recording of which ones I've watched. So
yeah.
I think. Do you read? I always forget if you read or not.
I do read, but I'm actually going to pick up Game of Thrones once I actually finish them.
Right.
But I am more of a manga reader.
Oh yeah.
And I like my fantasy books and sort of historical sort of things. I feel like an old man sometimes the way I describe that. But
speaking of manga and stuff, like, have you been watching? I actually got into a conversation at work today, like about Dragon Ball Super. Have you watched any of that, or?
I have not.
Yeah, me neither. But I heard it's really good, so I'm like, okay. Oh, okay. What's I don't know if you know, but I've been doing like the series of videos. A video about my film goals for this year. Do you have any like film goals you got, that like movies that you absolutely have to see? I know like Aquaman's on there, and
Aquaman's on there.
Terrifier.
I need to see. Solo.
Like any others? Like I know.
And this is a kind of determination thing. It's more of a TV thing, but I want to finish Game of Thrones in time when the new series comes out. Because I'm going to watch it from American broadcasting thing so I can see it when it's released.
So no spoilers?
No.
That's
no spoiler. Because I know what the interwebs are like. I know what they do.
I know.
I'm not risking it.
I don't have HBO anymore, so I am just like, I don't know how I'm going to do this.
I could probably tell you about a few things you can use, but I will not talk on here because.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have any old classics that you want to watch? Like I have, like for my film goals, I made like a list of like 10 classics that I've been wanting to watch. Like I'm currently watching Lawrence of Arabia. Like Schindler's List is on there as well. Like, do you have?
Funny enough, I have Jason and the Argonauts.
Oh, that's a good. Oh,
yeah.
Ray Harryhausen movie. Ooh.
And if I can get my hands on him, probably the Planet of the Apes.
Oh. Like the original Planet of the Apes?
It's been a very long time. Yes, the originals, of course.
Yeah, of course. Oh, I've seen most of them. Did you like the newer ones?
I've seen the first new one.
Okay.
But is the second one Rise of the Planet of the Apes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I haven't seen.
Oh, right. I know. I don't know the order. I know there's Dawn, Rise, and War. So, yeah.
Oh, it's three.
Yeah, there's three. So,
oh wow, I've been out of the
loop. Yeah, Dawn is the first one. Then Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Then you got Rise, and then you got War. So, honestly, you could. I think that's when did that come out?
I think the first one was 2010. If I'm right.
Okay, so I think. Let me check something here. So I think Rise may be my worst movie I've seen in a while, to be honest with you. Like, I had such high hopes for War of the Planet of the Apes, but it kind of was a big letdown, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Oh, I know one Marvel movie we can talk about real quick is Deadpool. What'd you think of that?
I do bloody love Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds is probably the best person they could have. Better than when he was in, I think it's X-Men Wolverine. Yeah. I think he was in that. Yeah. And I don't know, it didn't seem like a Deadpool character to me because
I agree.
Deadpool's a smart ass, he's cocky, yeah.
And
all the stuff that Ryan Reynolds actually is in real life.
Right? It's like you're totally taking away what Deadpool is Deadpool. It's like, was you able to watch like the PG-13 version of it?
Yeah, because I did watch the extra cut or whatever you want to call it, like the unrated.
Yeah.
So any movie I get on DVD, Blu-ray, I always make sure it's not cut.
Same.
Because that's why I will not watch stuff on TV half the time because
they released a newer version of Deadpool. It's just PG-13, so it cuts out all the what's it called? All the blood and guts and nudity and offensive stuff. But they also recut in, like, you've seen Princess Bride, right?
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that.
Yeah, so it's basically
Once Upon a Deadpool.
Yeah. I think I was actually, to be honest with you, that might have been my worst movie. Because I was actually, I'll have a little bit more in-depth review for it later on, but I think to be honest with you, I was kind of disappointed with that one. I know it's basically the same movie, but it didn't feel like the other movie. So,
yeah.
So, trying to think. I think honestly, Halloween might have been one of my favorites because that was just a good overall theater experience. Did you?
I think since I first got into the Halloweens, because obviously when I got what not, then because it was talked about for a few years, this new Halloween, it just never came around. It kept getting pushed back. You know, it's just nah.
Yeah. Let's see. I think we are about done here. We are closing in on an hour and a half, so I think this actually is our longest episode yet. So, next time now since we have a really easier setup on all this, we'll actually be able to do this more often. I think we say that every episode. I think, but so I'll see you in a couple years. But I think we got things figured out now. Is there any?
I think it's been a great sort of comeback episode.
Yeah, I think it was a really good one. I think we covered a lot of different topics. I know beforehand, me and you kind of like, hey, we want to talk about this and this and this, but like I like how we just kind of.
It's improv, I think. Once you sort of set up something, and then I think it's the best way to go about things. It sort of just rolls off. It goes into another subject. It's the best way to do a podcast, I think.
Right, I agree.
More enjoyable.
So next time we'll definitely have more fun because of course we got a couple years worth of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Because I know there's tons of video game stuff that we haven't even covered yet, and I'll go through my horror movie list from last October and kind of compare and see what you thought, if you've seen any of them. So, yeah, we got plenty of stuff to talk about next time.
Yeah.
Is there any final words that you would like to say from our comeback episode?
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem.
It's great to do something like this again now because it's been pretty lonely for a while, and it's nice to have something to do again.
Agreed. And like when you texted me, I was at work and was like, "Hey, like, would you like to do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, perfect." I mean, like, I was actually planning on doing a video for today, but I'm like I rather much have been spending my time talking here on the making a podcast. It's much easier. But it's a lot more funner, to be honest with you. It's just being able just to sit and relax and talk, because that's what I'm here lately. It's like that's all I've been wanting to do is just talk with friends here on this channel. And today I'm talking with you. Tomorrow I have another guest, which I know we have like a 5-hour time difference, but I think 6 or 8 or so, like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we'll be live around midnight your time or so. So I'll send you a link if you're up. So we'll be playing WWE. We'll be playing WWE. So I'm trying to think, what else is there? Oh, I know. We can firmly agree on that we should sign the petition to retcon The Last Jedi, right?
Yes.
As if The Last Jedi did not exist whatsoever.
I will purchase it just because it's part of it. Doesn't mean I approve of it.
Right. That's. I think that should have been the tagline for that movie the entire time.
I've only got this because it's part of the saga.
Right.
Episode 8.
Yeah, we'll see how the next one, interprets or takes on with what happened with the other ones. Like, you never know. Like, we may need like a truly just an episode in the saga where just everything just goes like how Empire was, just a series of down endings, and then the next one will be kind of a pick 'em up movie, just minus some Ewoks in there.
Yeah.
All right, Michael. I think that concludes Straight from the Brit's Mouth, episode 4, our first episode in at least 2 years, and I'm so happy. Like you said, I'm so glad you wanted to do this and still want to do this with me. I know. Backtracking. Do you have any besides Game of Thrones? Is there like any TV shows you want to complete this year?
Yes. Well, this is purely because am I going? Oh,
All right. You might have to say that again. Sorry.
Because my girlfriend into Vampire Diaries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine's X-Files. I'm currently working my way through X-Files right now. I'm on season 3.
Oh, it's such a good show.
I know. I'm like, I can't wait to finish it. I've seen quite a few episodes later on, but like I haven't seen quite a few of the early episodes, and I can't actually be honest with you. I can't believe how much of the first season I actually watched before. I'm like, oh, I've actually seen all these. So, all right, now I was kind of killing a minute or two to make it an official hour and 30-minute podcast. So I'm like, all right. My name is Max James. I want to thank you, my co-host, for the series, Michael, for all the way from the UK. Where are you officially from in the UK? Is that so we can?
I come from a little town called Berkhamsted.
Oh, I'll have to look that up. So because like me and my girlfriend, we love we've been planning some like international trips and everything, and we're like one of my top spots is like England and stuff like that. And I'm like, and
Well, I'd love to meet up sometime.
yeah, oh I know,
That sounds like a good idea.
like honestly, that's like really truly one of the biggest reasons why I want to go. It's just so like I can meet up. It's like because I've met one of my other friends like who I met through PlayStation, and I'm like. And like we're still friends to this day, and like me and you are still friends to this day, and I'm like I have to meet up with you. And it's like, oh, that'd be perfect. So hopefully, one of my future international flights will be to meet up with you, and we'll do a podcast in person.
Yeah, that would be
right.
Oh, that sounds really exciting.
Right? Oh, I know. Like that would be. Oh man, I think that's one of my top bucket lists now. Is to make a podcast overseas. Across the pond.
Across the pond.
Yeah. So
a big pond.
Yeah, exactly. Michael, I know I've keep reiterating this, but thank you for doing this with me and taking time out of your afternoon to do this. I think it's almost 5:00 there? 4?
It is 4:45.
Yeah. So, thank you for spending an hour and a half with me. I appreciate it. It's just so much fun doing this with you. And we have figured it out. We actually have a good setup now. So, as soon as I get done here, I'll edit it and put it up.
Awesome.
Is there any final words again? Sorry.
I will see you in the next episode, The Geek Strike Back.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. The Geek.
It's to throw in some more Star Wars references.
Right. The first of many. I guarantee it. As always, my name is Max James, and I should say, we're going to go geek out.
Out.